This is a KISS original on 101.9 KISS FM. The geekdom is spreading. It is present at almost every turn. And it's only a matter of time before it comes for you.
Nothing in our solar system can help us.
Let the Geek Patrol be your guide as you delve into the worlds of science, gaming, and pop culture. This is Geek Tank Radio.
Welcome, everyone. We are the Geek Patrol, and our microphones don't have a stun setting. This season of Geek Tank Radio is brought to you by the Gotham City Sanitation Department. Proud to announce that they have expanded their collection days to the second Tuesday of every month, ending in a Y. The Gotham City Sanitation Department. Merry Christmas, Gotham.
You know,
I mean, it's good to see that they're finally taking care of the problem.
Yeah, but I've kind of given up on them. I've managed to corral 7 of the super rats.
Yeah. Super rats.
Just keep my yard clean.
Well, see, yeah, if you can get them to eat the grass, if you can harness their power, it's a blessing.
They're good. They're
All
good
you
little
need
guys.
to do is make a trip down to LexCorp in Metropolis.
Yeah.
Buy a souvenir piece of kryptonite, and they will just sit there and stay in the yard.
Yeah.
Just
Managing the problem.
At the large scale pickup stuff, that just wasn't addressed. Like, they're just not going to do that now?
Well, I mean, they're trying, Brody.
You can move those bodies yourself.
I tried!
I got a truck. I'll come over.
They're moving in the right direction, Brody. But anyway, welcome to Geek Tank, everybody.
Don't let them get sun.
Brody, I got a new chipper shredder. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. So, guys, oh boy, I don't know about you, but I am just, I'm a changed person after watching The Joker last night.
Well, yeah, and but are you a changed person in a good way, or are you just having to change your pants?
I'm just I don't know.
Can of white makeup over there. I don't feel good.
Good job, yo.
I do like the fact that he's got the green streaks in his beard. So
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Well, that's all I can do. Yeah, so we're definitely going to unpack that. Gaming, though, you're going to kind of whisk us through a gaming update, I'd call it. And apparently Elon Musk is on the move, as usual, right, Alan?
Of course.
So, okay.
Well, that being said, we got a little conspiracy, right?
Yeah, the conspiracy I'm bringing to the table because this stuff just keeps escalating, Brody. These conspiracies, they're coming one after the other, and because when you follow the news, you realize half of what you're seeing is wrong, and we're here to give you the truth.
Yeah.
So anyway, and there's a random roundup,
generous,
and a locked and loaded, which we haven't done that. I mean,
it's going to become a monthly thing, but yeah, hey,
Gotham City's picked up their garbage more than we've done our locked and loadeds lately, Brandon. Anyway, shots fired. Anyway, and it's there's
okay. I still have a full head of hair.
Hey.
Okay, and even more insults and depravity coming up on Geek Tank Radio.
Geek Tank Radio. More below. And on 1019kissfm.com. Keyword Geek Tank. No matter what nefarious plan he has cooked up, Alan always keeps it educational. Get banished. To Professor Gilbreth's Science Corner.
It's time to talk about Lex Luthor again.
I love Elon. He's my hero.
I don't.
I thought you're Lex Luthor. Okay.
He makes me nervous.
No, don't be nervous about Elon.
Okay. Oh, is that who you're talking about, Alan?
Yeah.
Elon
Oh,
Musk?
Elon Musk, our favorite Lex Luthor. He's the obvious candidate.
Yeah.
He is the obvious candidate to be Lex Luthor if you're going to be at a comic book.
Right.
So,
Does that make Trump Clayface? He's melting down right now. So
I'm not going there. It's too easy. All right.
I'm lazy.
Wow. Well, Elon periodically gets himself in trouble.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Elon periodically gets himself out of trouble.
Right.
And then Elon periodically makes, I believe one of the reviews I saw this week was, in spite of an impressive achievement schedule, Elon every so often opens his mouth and ups the ante.
Oh, yeah.
About Mars or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We're talking about everything.
Yeah.
Well, they tested a vehicle not too long ago that he called the Starhopper. And I don't know if you saw this thing. It was kind of short. It was kind of stubby. They tested it, and in August, he announced they were going to retire it.
What? Wait, what?
And just kind of went,
It didn't work?
Well, it worked, but apparently it wasn't quite what he wanted.
Okay.
But he has been working on Starship, and it's a reusable rocket, better known as Super Heavy.
Okay. That's what it's called?
Yes, he's Starship and Super Heavy. Super Heavy
nice.
That
is...
sounds like a rapper.
Yeah, well,
Brandon
let me tell you,
listens to,
Super
yeah.
Heavy is, just Starship alone is like 50 meters.
Okay.
So this thing is big. The prototype was just finished like last week. I mean, seriously, they literally put the last screws in it like a week ago.
Uh-huh.
So he's now talking about having this bad boy in orbit in like 6 months.
So he doesn't fool around.
No.
How does he get like releases for all the? Are they? I mean, who has to approve all this stuff?
Him.
Basically. Well, he can't just do whatever he wants.
Well,
right?
more or less, he works with the FAA and he works with NASA.
Okay. Yeah.
So he actually is part of a couple of NASA programs that are ongoing, and he would be launching from Cape Canaveral.
They're not using it.
I think that's been kind of his point.
Yeah.
Is there some launch window that we're approaching, Alan, where we got because we're lining up towards Mars or something? Like, what's the big?
No, he's just tired of waiting. He's basically
yeah.
He's basically we need to get this thing up.
Okay.
And let's get it going. And Elon agreed when he said, "I know this is going to sound totally nuts, but I want to get this done in 6 months."
Yeah.
So
okay.
of course, everybody's scrambling because, if Elon wants the thing in space in 6 months, and I'm kind of like, all right, what's the worst that could happen? If he misses his timeline and it's up in 9 months, he's still probably 20 years ahead of anybody else.
Okay, maybe I missed this. What is this ship going to do? Like,
it's a Starship.
It's going to Mars.
Meaning what, though? Is it going to re-enter orbit? Is it?
It's reusable.
He's
yes.
doing so many things. I heard of space tourism, a space hotel, a trip to Mars. I can't keep up with all his ideas.
Well, remember, a handful
step.
of those are also just him goading Richard Branson.
Oh, so he's tweaking him. So okay.
Well, yeah, because he's going to do it first.
Okay,
because these are all things that
that's
Branson
the
wanted to
space
do.
race of today. Is Branson versus
it's
Elon Musk,
it's SpaceX versus
it's like,
Virgin Air.
It's like it's Lex Luthor versus Dr. Doom.
Okay.
Yep. In some odd, strange sort of ways.
Okay. But wait, what is it going to do? So you said it's a starship, but I mean,
well, he is
what does that mean?
talking about the Starship, and then he's talking about the ships yet to come.
Okay.
So right now we have a MK1. Well, there'll be an MK2, 3, 4. So he's basically trying to line up a launch timeline and a stair step, so we can get into space,
right?
Reusably into space. That's because that's been his big hallmark. Mm-hmm. Is my engines don't splash down and die. My engines land on the cute little platform, and we clean them up and retool them and refuel them and use them again.
Yeah.
So he cuts his cost way down. But if he's going to get to Mars, he's got to start getting things out there. So in order to make these kind of trips, you look at like the MK1, and it will hold like 3 of his famous Raptor engines.
Right.
So this will easily get into space and get into orbit. And I'm pretty sure Elon is going to do something with the moon. It's just too close and too easy.
Yeah.
He's going to put his name on it. It's just going to, you're going to look up there and it's going to say
a big E.
It's going to be an apostrophe, lawn.
Well, there
Is
you
this
go.
like when guys pee in the snow?
Yes.
But he's going to do it on the moon?
Absolutely.
Cool.
I've never heard it put quite like
now
that.
Now that there's a Shiwi, you can do it too.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
That's
now
we just need enough snow around here.
Now Super Heavy has room for 37 Raptor engines.
Dude.
It's
going to Pluto and rechristening it as a moon.
You just look at this and you go, wow, giant rocket. Big giant rocket. So SpaceX.
The unfortunate side effect of Super Heavy is if it explodes, it takes us all with it.
Well, that's why it gets up in the air quickly.
Yeah.
All right, now the big thing is, let's talk about how long it takes to build a rocket engine.
Yeah. This is still
probably the peak of technology at this point. How long do you think it would take to build a rocket engine?
Well,
Joe?
you said it's 50 meters, which I don't know how much that is in yards, but that's probably
that's
close.
168 some odd feet or so.
Okay. Yeah. Well, first you got to get the metal. You got to have the facility. I don't know. I'd say it takes. I would say a normal thing would take like a year, but you're probably going to tell us it takes like 2 weeks or something. But
SpaceX is currently building one Raptor every 8 to 10 days.
Jeez. They're not fooling around there.
There you go.
At this point, I'm expecting him to sell them the way he did the flamethrower.
I was going to say, he must have sold a lot of flamethrowers on this thing.
Well, but in order to get his intergalactic goals in place, Elon wants to be making a Raptor a day by 2020.
Wow. Okay.
That's not that far off, Elon.
Yeah. So
wow.
It's sort of interesting because I wonder how many other agencies and other businesses are in this race to get to Mars, because there's probably groups we're not even hearing about that are just keeping a low profile.
Absolutely, I'm sure
like
there
Putin,
are.
But no.
Well, I mean, that's
no. He's too busy playing with somebody else right now.
He's playing puppet master. He's got his own. He's got going on.
Countries to dictate over.
Punch and Cheeto.
Yeah, right.
So I know while we've had some intergalactic news lately about finding planets and all that other wonderful stuff, but we really haven't had a lot of close to home space news.
Yeah.
And now apparently we're about to have a lot of close to home space.
Well, it's just
news.
interesting to see how many people are jumping on this thing, and I guess private industry is the future, right, Alan?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the way.
I would say yeah.
I mean,
the government.
Have you watched Ad Astra? There's a subway on the moon.
Oh, no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
Joe's looking forward to seeing it.
It's amazing.
Okay, I want to
You've
go
seen
see
it twice now, haven't you?
3 times.
Okay, yeah, don't tell me. I want to see that. So, but all right. But,
well,
Tommy Lee Jones is in it. You can't say no to that.
Yeah.
Well, if we're going to get to the moon, we're going to be building rockets in a day. You know what? I now I'm wondering what gaming is going to do next. Let's go talk about Judgment Day.
Geek Tank Radio, energized by
Dark Oak Press and Media, an indie publisher and media provider offering everything from Alice in Memphis to mystery to young adult and everything in between. Get the latest at darkoakpress.com.
More Below and on 1019kissfm.com. Keyword Geek Tank. Gadgets,
Gizmos,
games.
Oh my.
These guys got their hands on it in the tank. Geek Tank Radio is on.
Okay, so we all know what the big news about this season is, and that's going to be in our feature segment about Joker.
Yes.
Now, we went to the IMAX and saw it. All of us, right?
I saw it in Atmos, but
you saw it.
Okay.
Okay. So
you probably saw the same trailer.
All right, no, because it was an IMAX exclusive sneak peek at Terminator: Dark Fate.
Oh yeah, we didn't see that.
We're getting a lot of geared up stuff in order to promote this movie, and they finally showed us some stuff that we liked.
Yeah.
Well, also this week on Twitch TV for the Mortal Kombat channel, we got to see a lot of really awesome gameplay of the T-800 coming to Mortal Kombat. Holy
Wait,
crap.
that's Arnold's.
That's Arnold's character, yeah.
The T-800.
The T-800.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it is Judgment Day for Mortal Kombat as the T-800 in multiple forms. We get to see him battle damage. We get to see him the way he looks in Dark Fate. We get to see him the way he looked in the original Terminator and in T2 with the leather jacket and everything. Let's
say he's going to show up naked.
Actually, no.
The nudist version.
I'll say this: they show him.
Just saying.
They show him appearing in the time bubble.
Yeah.
And he's already got his clothes on. I'm just like,
lame.
That's lame.
Oh, really? That?
Yeah, he's
Why
already
even
got his
show
clothes
the
on.
Time bubble then, but okay.
Well, because each of your characters have their intros, and I mean he has some really cool intros. He's got that one, but he also has one from T2 where he walks in and he's got the package that he's hiding the shotgun in.
Yeah.
Just now instead of roses, it's Johnny Cage action figures. And we've got one where he rides up on the Harley. So they're doing all sorts of really cool stuff. And while they didn't get Arnold to do the voice, they did go with a voice actor that Arnold had recommended.
Yeah.
And it's pretty spot on. I mean, it's not perfect, but come on, at this point, is even Arnold perfect at doing Arnold's voice?
Arnold can't even do Arnold.
No.
Yeah.
So we got a chance to see a lot of that. And sadly enough, we still have to wait another week before we get him.
Yeah.
We've seen all the gameplay. We've seen what awesome stuff he can do. We've seen, but no, I have to wait another week. So I'm a little, I'm like Andy. I'm like going to flip out and scream at something in a minute.
Okay.
But in order to keep me busy until then, we have a new thing going on in Pokemon right now with the Unova stuff. Me and Brody are really the only ones here who really give a damn about any of that.
I still have to drive periodically. I'm on the Poke expedition.
I am seriously tempted to have you drive me around one of these days so I can actually play and, it's like...
Get
it
your
sucks
Pokemon.
to put your phone down and have to drive 20 miles over to the other side of town and then get the phone out and start playing again because there's so many places that you can play along the way. And during the day, Amy's at work. I don't have anybody else to drive me around. Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad.
We need a driving Miss Brandon around so we can play Pokemon.
Allie?
Yes?
How are you at driving these days?
Yeah.
Better than I used to be.
You don't fall asleep at the wheel anymore, do you?
Nope.
What were we talking about?
We're talking about Pokemon.
Pokemon!
Talking about Pokemon.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted because right now the three of you have very similar head styles.
Yeah, let's focus, sir.
Anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
So, there's a lot of fun stuff coming in gaming, and then there's some fun gaming-related stuff coming out. We just got an announcement from Marvel Comics, another good reason Andy's not here, that the Spider-Man game, that everybody has universally loved this game.
That last one they did.
Right.
Yeah.
There are missions where they've introduced Black Cat, and now the Black Cat from that is getting a comic book based on her exploits. We've already seen the one from the about Spider-Man from that video game universe. I spoke English fine earlier.
Yeah.
But now from the writer of the games, we're getting comics based on a lot of the characters. But Marvel announced hers to I think Wednesday. People are already clamoring for it. People are excited about it. And it's actually written by someone who cares about the characters. And it's so pretty. So pretty. But really, that's all I've got for gaming, and luckily the other two gaming, know-it-alls are not here. So I can go ahead and end this segment at a decent rate.
So this doesn't have to be 20 minutes
I don't
long.
need 45 minutes to explain to you why I didn't like a certain chapter in a video game. Anyway, when we get back, though, we're going to talk about a movie that seems to be universally wowed, and that's Joker.
We've talked about them.
We've played them.
And now we'll show you.
The all-new Twitch channel from Geek Tank Radio is here.
Go Ready Player Geek.
Where we unpack and dive into single-player, story-driven games, to fighters, to multiplayer shooters, to tabletop and card games, and everything in between.
And stay up to date with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Ready Player Geek.
Check us out now at twitch.tv/ReadyPlayerGeek.
Streaming every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday night at 8 Central.
From the silver screen to your home screen.
Geek Tank Radio is on.
All right. I love when something descends into a little madness.
Okay.
Sounds like early 80s Gotham to me.
Let's talk about a little early 80s Gotham. All right. A great time period in history.
Yep.
And wow, what a crazy character.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Can everybody just ooh and ah now?
We are oohing, we're on, we're happy.
Ooh, ah.
Let's just go with performance. Let's just start at performance art.
Okay.
Would you like to use Scorsese for
Yeah.
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 So
I also like the fact that since I've seen it and The King of Comedy, I can tell you that they're two completely different movies.
Okay.
It was a great homage.
Yeah. It is a great homage, but wow.
Yeah.
Sheer performance art.
Yeah.
Joaquin, man, dude.
Yeah.
He's getting an Oscar.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, if that
Oscar
wasn't Oscar fodder, I don't know what was.
And honestly, after having seen this movie, I would love to see his take on the Joker in a straight up superhero movie too.
Oh, just really turn him loose.
Yeah, just let him go. Give him some Smilex gas. Give him some Joker fish to beat people with. Yeah, let him go.
But do you guys agree that this is a movie that's basically 10 different people could watch it and 10 different people are going to tell you what this movie's actually about? Like, I feel like that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
What do you think,
Easily.
Allie?
No, for sure. I went and saw it with my best friend and her boyfriend and mine, and I think we all came out of it with different opinions.
And you were all wearing flak jackets, right?
No.
It's pretty I'm not used to such violent stuff but honestly, there wasn't that much violence. But the violence that was in there was pretty hard to look at.
It's pretty brutal.
You wanted a shower after this movie.
I felt. I made the thing. I felt unclean after watching it. Partly because just
it's good.
And
though.
also your audience,
movie.
the audience participation, at our viewings was completely different. Like you said, Joe, you said off the air that you had people like laughing hysterically at certain parts. My audience was shocked and dumbfounded through so much that I saw coming.
Yeah,
and then you would just hear gasps.
Well, that was
from the audience.
I told Brandon the worst part of the movie for me was not actually in the movie. It was certain reactions because I'm sitting there with my jaw hanging open, and there's a few people in the audience. Now, they were laughing at parts. I'm like, how are you even...
I found myself
it's
laughing,
so
but
inappropriate
awkward laughing.
It was like uncomfortable, please don't come to the screen and hurt me.
Yeah.
It did end quickly, like the parts in the apartment scene and then the parts in the, whatever. But that part really bothered me. I'm like, how is anybody even laughing at any of this? So it's like...
I think it was supposed to be like an awkward laugh. I think they got what they set out to do.
Yeah, yeah.
They were in the back of the theater going, that's what we wanted.
All right. Giggles I definitely got in this movie when he drops the gun and he kicks it over to the side and he's hiding it, and then he looks at the kids and he's like, shh. Yeah. I giggled at the shush.
Oh. Well, that part wasn't
his
as bad.
reaction to hiding it from the kids was fun.
Yeah. But years ago we were saying about how superhero movies are a bit cookie cutter and we want something experimental and different. Well, honestly, I didn't know if we'd ever get that, but we did get this, and now it's getting a lot of buzz and it's getting a lot of
But again,
controversy.
You weren't sure like what was real and what wasn't.
That's what I like.
Actually, the context, the context pretty much alludes to exactly what's real and what isn't. I knew almost every scene with Zazie Beetz was Fever Dream.
Yeah, well,
because you can tell his body mannerisms change.
Yeah,
and as a people observer,
that's where
you notice.
That's what my take was too. I was like, every time he is donning he's like not. Yeah.
It's like the Zazie Beetz stuff is definitely
that's not reality.
But you can see his awkwardness when the detectives are trying to talk to him about what happened in the subway.
Like the real human interactions that he has, I feel are real.
Yeah.
When he was on stage and there's all that laughter, people weren't laughing.
Yeah,
that's in his head.
That's all in his head.
Yeah, that's all in his head.
But that's the reason why. And Todd Phillips, whatever issues you may have with the things he's been saying about this movie lately, his directing of this movie and the way that they chose to alter from the actual sounds that are going on with Arthur trying to talk while he's on stage to the music and the muffled laughter.
I want to go back and listen to the sound effects track, not necessarily the audio track, okay? Not just the audio track, but the sound effects track, because I feel like there's more to that added to it that we didn't even realize.
You will notice when you're watching it again, like scenes where, like when he's watching... when he's at the newsstand,
right?
When you'll notice that things are muted,
right?
Background noises are muted.
That's what my point is. But even the laughter, okay, going back to that, it's like a underwater kind of laugh, or even muted. I guess
you can also tell the difference between his conditional laugh, his fake laugh, and his real laugh.
Yeah.
They're all different octaves, and it's only slight variations.
Right.
Yeah, I like the subtlety. I like how there was important information on like those pieces of paper that they just flashed. You were expected to pay attention and see stuff,
and things like you read you read some of the stuff like he has in his journal, which is also his joke book.
Right.
And you read something like, "I hope my death makes more sense than my life."
Yeah.
But you think, all right, he chose the wrong form of sense because he's a little off. But no, that is completely using the monetary version of sense instead of the action of making sense.
Oh yeah, no, he's meticulous.
That is very, very telling.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because he wants he wants there to have been a career.
Yeah.
He wants to have been this thing. But dude, the scenes at the end though, every bit of that's real.
You thought so?
The riots and everything else. And you know why that's real? the connection to Crime Alley.
Okay, but here's
The protests are really happening. That's why they.
I think the protests are, but I don't think his involvement with the protests are real. Like I don't think their involvement, their attachment to him is real.
It is completely real. They rammed the cop car on purpose. This scene is actually directly from the comics recently, where they were railing against Arkham and Batman for having brutalized the Joker.
Okay.
Even down to the masks.
That part was real, actually, but
See, I didn't think that part was real. I thought they were there. I thought they were rioting, and I thought they were like,
them pulling him from the cop car and laying him on the front and cheering. That's there. That's real because they had just seen him on the Murray Franklin show, because the Murray Franklin show was being shown in the bays at all of those places they were looting.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
My favorite part, and I know it's not actually true, but my first thought when he's at the end when he's in the hospital and he's laughing and she's like, well, you want to tell me the joke? And he's like, you wouldn't get it. I was just like, did he just imagine this whole thing? Like all of it?
Yeah.
No, see, that right there
that would be so brutal.
That right there is your big homage to the King of Comedy, because there is a moment at the end of the King of Comedy where you go back and you go, did any of this just happen?
That's what I'm wondering too. Like for all the purists that say this isn't canon Joker type thing, but like
I don't know where you're reading this idea of it not being canon Joker.
Well, I'm thinking of some of the people that we know well that are complaining. But anyway.
Well, I mean, it's like because I mean, I think about the people we know who are complaining about the Joker. It's never been about canon, because there is no canon.
That's what
of any version of the Joker.
Yeah, there's no origin story.
Well,
for the Joker.
because
it's like the closest thing we've ever seen in alternate media from the comic books that is remotely canon would be The Killing Joke.
Well, but Andy will say,
and it wasn't originally started. And
I'm just saying. But he said Batman created the Joker, and that's just the way it is. That's absolutely how it is. But it's not what happened here.
That's Andy's need for your villain to be created. The villain's created by the hero in the books. He is a purist when it comes to that.
But you see, that's where I differ. Yeah. I thought the Joker created Batman.
The Joker had no connection to Batman except for in the 1989 Batman movie.
Yeah, that one.
That is when they use because they used Jack Napier as the killer of his parents.
Right.
His parents were not killed by Jack Napier; they were killed by Joe Chill, who, if you want to get into the comics, Joe Chill ended up getting killed by his own thugs when he let them know that he was responsible for Batman.
They had no chill.
They shot him down and then realized he knows who Batman is. Why didn't we? I mean, it's right there, and then Batman shows up and kicks their ass.
I think also that the internet is going to ruin this movie for a lot of people, because I found myself the whole time watching it thinking about all the things that I was going to have to see on the internet and be annoyed by. Like, just dudes just like guys who already like worship the Joker in like a really unhealthy way, but now they have this like almost relatable, but not actually, because like the whole point of the movie is making it a joke. Like his life is a joke.
Yeah,
being an incel it's a joke. You should feel bad. Like it's bad.
But what was that thing that I think I posted it to one of your friends? Things about the Joker early on. And it was a Twitter post that I found that said the demographic for the Jokers is the kids of the guys who misunderstood Fight Club.
Yeah.
And I never saw that movie, so I missed.
You never saw Fight Club?
No.
Oh, now Brody's.
But yeah, like it's just like the whole time I was watching it, I just was like thinking of that, and I was like, I don't want to think about this, because like apart from like whether it's comic book or not or this or that, like it was a good film that I enjoyed watching about a character that was interesting and different, and like that's what movies are supposed to be
it
about.
Was very,
it's very well
provoking.
And it's well crafted.
My question
the music was great.
My question to the collective is what? Normally like a narrative comes out of a movie like this, right? We start talking more about mental health or gun, whatever have you. Okay, like Batman, we started talking really about gun violence, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fueled by the fact that, a tragedy happened during the Batman movie. So what narrative comes out of this? Is it mental health, or is it, hey, your bad guy is a bad guy, don't...
Well,
no, that's what I like. There's like 10 or 12 narratives, in my opinion.
I don't think we're going to get...
But the overlying...
I don't think we're going to get one good narrative about this. You're going to have a lot of people who are upset about things across the board. There's going to be people who go, see, this shows why you should, we need to take care of mental health. We need to get rid of the stigma.
Right.
But you're also going to have the people who are mental health advocates who are going to go,
This isn't demonizing mental health again.
Mental health.
Right.
This really is basically Todd Phillips took a mirror, threw it into the air, shot it, and everybody's seeing their dark reflection.
Yeah.
That's
a good way of putting it, man.
This is going to end up being more, other than the fact that I would think that most of the people who see it will enjoy this movie in one way or another, it's going to bring out such a divisive nature because everybody's going to see something completely different in it.
But I think it's good for
good thing,
sparking conversation.
It is a good thing.
It is.
Except for the fact that
conversation.
you look at Comicsgate, and they're going to use the Joker as their hero even more now than they used to.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't know how you make him a hero in this.
Yeah, I don't either.
Well,
Because
because of the
that
fact
last
that
little thing on the show, and he was like,
that's just
you abandoned me, and this is what you get. Like those are people feel that
there
way.
Are people who
think
feel
that way,
and they're not going to see this as, oh crap, this might be the road we're going down. It's like, okay, justified. No, Joe.
I promise you.
The hero is a likable guy.
He didn't deserve. It is, but a lot of likable guys and a lot of likable women end up being the victims of these guys and girls out there who feel that the world abandoned them because they were different. And this movie basically, as much as it's got, because of the fact
I've read some manifestos and they sounded eerily similar to some of the things that guy was saying.
You read a Joker joke book?
I did.
Basically.
I deal with our listeners online. I talk with people. I get a lot of the complaints for us. Alan does too. We know you see these people, and there are people out there who are listening to me talk right now who are going to be pissed off at me because yes, there's a good chunk of them that have this grip on reality that is just everybody in the world is against me, and this justifies me.
Yeah.
This justifies what I think. And that is why people were worried about going in to see this movie in a theater with a lot of people who are feeling this way.
Like there might actually be
a lot of people want to take this
Rises,
a lot of people want to take this and connect it back to what happened in Aurora. Yes, the stuff that happened in Aurora was an amazingly tragic event. There's no other way around it. But when you look at these guys out here now, they're Todd Phillips, especially the things he's said in the past couple of weeks, basically it's like where he's spoken out against woke culture. Honestly, this movie is nothing but, please wake up to the problems around you and let's fix this. But a lot of people aren't going to see it that way.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Did you find yourself thinking that some of the bad guys were actually people who were trying to help him along the way? Namely, this is one of mine, was his quote unquote counselor. Who couldn't care any less, just to collect a paycheck.
I think she was bitter because they didn't care about her.
No, see, I didn't look at her like that at all. I didn't look at her like that at all. She was there to collect a paycheck.
I think she just didn't know what to do, but I don't know.
Well, I think, and Alan, you could probably back me up on this. Social workers back then were not trained to deal with people like Arthur.
Well, all right, let's roll back a little bit to Sucker Punch. Mm-hmm. Which was
a complete mental health.
Was a complete trip down trippy lane. Yeah.
It was all.
I'm not saying Sucker Punch is on the same level as this movie, but
it was the escapism to avoid the trauma you're going through.
And I think the master. I don't know. I'm still sticking with just sheer performance art on this movie.
Yeah.
The trippy.
That's what the movie was.
But the way it was done, in the fact that they did not clearly delineate. Okay, we're not going to do the wavy lines. Now you know he's crazy. Okay, now we're going to now you know he's sane. I like the fact that the producers and the director and the star of this movie all had to have collaborated. As Joe said, if you didn't pay attention, if the audience was not trusted to pay attention, you were going to miss something important.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're very subtle.
We probably did miss stuff, even though we weren't paying attention.
I got to applaud. I'm sorry, I'm used to most movies for Americans being
they fundamentally
bad.
Right.
I mean, they can be decent movies and well acted, but they always got to show you the guy clumsily putting the prop in his pocket so that the American audience got that he pawned it.
Yeah.
This movie does not do that.
No.
This movie doesn't even try to draw attention to the fact as to whether he's crazy, this is in his head, or this is what really happened.
Well,
it leaves you. Seriously, everybody's seen different scenes of the movie.
Right.
We could pick any one of the transitions, and of the 5 of us, 6 of us, 10 of us, 20 of us, whatever we ask, everybody is going to read that scene a little differently. That is some amazing movie magic.
See, and also, I think, too, everybody's got their own pain in their life, and so they're going to identify with... Somebody might have grown up in a dysfunctional
But it's
family,
exactly
so
what
they're going to
Brandon said.
identify
He
with
threw
his
a mirror up,
childhood.
and he shot it,
Right.
and it blew up, and now we're all looking at the little sliver of the Joker. In a
but it's a
different light.
cautionary tale too. Like, don't give in to.
Well, it's
you had a bad childhood. Don't give in and become.
It's
such
meant
and such,
to be a cautionary tale,
right? Yeah.
But with the and I'm just going to say it, the spouting that Todd Phillips has been doing the past 2 weeks. People who go in there to see it may not see it as a cautionary tale so much as something he's promoting.
Yeah,
because his big
celebrating
his big tirade about why he left comedy to do this and against woke culture and everything else. Meanwhile, it's like
I wanted to,
and it's
smash my head
greatest,
into a
my
window.
favorite thing is right now. He talked about you can't do comedies like this. You always offend people. Well, f this. We're just not going to do this. We're going to take the comic book world and turn it on its head. Meanwhile, you got Taika Waititi over here. And his response to that was a tweet. He said, "Lol, he funny." But then someone posted right under that. It's like, Todd Phillips, woke culture is killing comedy. Taika Waititi, I'm literally playing Hitler in my current film, and everybody loves me for it.
Okay.
Which Jojo Rabbit is.
It's
great.
funny.
Yeah.
And he's getting raves, and he plays Hitler in this movie.
But none of this would have worked if they didn't. The reason this whole thing works is because of Joaquin Phoenix performance and the music, the cinematography, the everything. That it was such.
It's almost
perfectly
a perfect
made,
storm.
Yeah,
it is.
Joaquin
it's a
is so
masterpiece,
eccentric
honestly.
though in his normal life that him playing a character like this, I don't feel like was much of a stretch.
And it was pretty meta at the end with that talk show, like the David Letterman appearance.
Yeah,
that he did.
exactly right. That's my point.
You're just like cringing watching the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man.
I laughed during that because it was so awkward, uncomfortable. Ha ha ha. Maybe please stop.
Yeah. I hope it's a trend though with lower budget movies like this that are just real artsy and real experimental, and man, it was great. So, but I don't know if it's a movie I'm going to just watch over and over again either.
No. I'd probably watch it one more time just to kind of get like a better grasp on some things. Now that I know what's going to happen, I can pay attention to more of the smaller things.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think it's like a Fight Club situation where you then go back and pick out like all of the this is when he and Tyler Durden and you're circling different thing, right?
Yeah.
This isn't that.
Well, I'm going to go back and freeze frame it when you see all the documents and all the things that he wrote down, because I want to read every line on like her medical history
and his manifesto and stuff.
Yeah. That stuff I want to see.
Okay, so what we know now is that when Joker hits digital or Blu-ray release,
Joe will be in his home
Joe's
for
gonna
like
disappear
a solid
for 2
week,
weeks, and he's going to come back,
Analyze.
and he's going to have long, stringy hair. I mean, it'll all
It's gonna be that
it'll all
always
be on
sunny.
his beard and everything.
Yeah, it's going to be his beard.
But he's going to come in and he's like, I know the real truth behind this guy.
He's got red yarn like just coming out of somewhere,
The whole thing was a dream. The whole thing was
Well, I mean, but not often do we get a storm like this where everybody looks at the movie and goes, doesn't really matter what you.
Yeah.
At the end of it, everybody's going to agree that was a really well crafted, done, well presented movie. And the best part is, even though it has a comic book character in it.
Yeah,
this was
for everybody.
This was a extreme level performance.
It's very rare that we talk about a film on this show.
Yes.
We're not talking about a movie here. We're talking
we're talking about a
This
film.
is a film. This was well crafted across the board.
And I know it's a small thing, but the fact that the font that they use for the credits and in not using the modern day Warner Brothers symbol and using the one from like the 70s,
I loved it. I thought it was so
set
cute.
a certain tone too.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
was cool. It was really neat.
They paid attention. There was a lot.
I thought it was a good remake of the
Yeah. It's totally a second movie, man.
I'm gonna watch King of
like
Comedy now.
There are
exactly
parts where it's
how I
like
feel.
frame by frame Scorsese, and I was like, meh.
Yeah, but those are actually scenes where it's just with De Niro. That's
I know,
but it is.
It's like every scene Bobby D is in, you're like, did they just like CG this?
But I'm really starting to believe, and I've seen enough of De Niro movies and everything at this point, that I think everything he's done
it's all
is
CG.
always framed in a Scorsese style, no matter what he's in. Analyze that next.
That's true.
He's been recording these scenes for years.
Right.
They're just copy and paste.
The real truth here, and we're gonna spawn a conspiracy nation. Bobby D is actually dead.
No. Oh, I'm not going to go there.
Stock footage.
I'm not going to go there. I will say that he has become so.
He's never been alive.
He's Simone.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah.
But no, I think it's more along the lines of that at this point in his career, he has done these types of scenes so many times. There's no cinematographer in there. There's no DP. There's no guy doing sound or lighting. He goes in there, blocks it all himself, and does his scene.
He knows his angles
sends
best.
it in, and he goes, all right, let me know when I need to be there for those 2 days to actually interact with other people.
Right. Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, you know what? I think that's the perfect time to say, we do need a good conspiracy nation now.
Geek Tank Radio energized by
Dark Oak Press and Media, an indie publisher and media provider offering everything from Alice in Memphis to mystery to young adult and everything in between. Get the latest at darkoakpress.com.
More Below and on 1019kissfm.com. Keyword Geek Tank.
It's time.
Their hats are made from Marvel foil covers from the 90s.
Now, stand back for your own safety.
It's time for another deep dive into Conspiracy Nation with the Geek Patrol here on Geek Tank Radio.
All right, Brody, I'm looking at you, but Alan, I'm also looking at you on this because we need scientific verification of my theory.
Hey,
so.
you can look at me for that.
Well, okay. I try,
Not long. I almost said it with a straight face.
I think the
You
heart.
almost didn't giggle.
I know that I'm known for rolling my eyes, but Allie rolled her eyes so hard at that it hurt me.
Brody,
In the back of my head.
I know you'll support the heart of this theory. I just want Alan to support the science of the theory.
Oh, no.
He's
putting us in the same burrito.
Yeah. So, okay.
Not good.
So,
I'm 3-day-old guac.
thanks to Alan's tutelage, I would say, and just thanks to our own, whatever. But we do know that one of the things that makes Earth habitable, basically, is we have giant planets around the solar system that basically absorb comets and
we have force field.
asteroids and stuff. Well, like Jupiter, right, Alan? I mean, asteroids and things like that are going to be attracted to the larger planets.
Right.
Basically, they're taking the hit for us.
Yeah.
Like, instead of an asteroid coming our way, they're going to go swerve towards Saturn or Jupiter, right?
They slap Uranus.
There we go. Am I right, Alan? You're not.
We have some big brothers. Yes, we do.
Okay, right. And
not to mention our own asteroid belt, that's floating out there too, which kind of picks up.
Well, we
a
got
lot
two
of
of them. We've got two
The inner
asteroid
and outer,
belts.
right,
We've got a couple of really big planets for blockers.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's something that's been going on for really millennia that we're just starting to wise up to, and it's making the Saturnians nervous. Brody, basically, these asteroids. Like
you better be careful talking about my people like that.
Well, we've seen these asteroids that they're talking about, the ones that they say could be made out of gold, enough gold where we'd all be billionaires, like
and alcohol,
diamonds, alcohol, resources,
party
right? And then now we find that we're coming into the dirty part of the galaxy. We're coming into a part of the galaxy where this stuff's everywhere, right? Well, a long time ago, the Saturnians basically found a way to mine this stuff. That's where it's like their equivalent of going to the grocery store. When you get into the dirty part of the galaxy, that's when they stock up. They get all their gold. They get all of
the
their
mining party up there.
It's prime delivery.
Prime delivery. They send up their ships. They've perfected that technology. Well, now there's a concern because we're starting to wise up to that as well. I think the big key to this thing, Brody, is how Alan brought us that story of how we're going to start bouncing the
Oh, yeah, we're going to start using rockets to deflect the asteroids.
Right. Well, my thought was, well, why don't you just blow them up? I mean, use a nuke. Well, that made the Saturnians nervous because they don't want. They want us to bounce the stuff to them.
That was our main concern. Let's shoot nukes at it and blow it up into little pieces. But you're saying that the Saturnians are like, whoa, don't blow up our product.
No, and in fact, they're trying to corrupt our space program. So we'll help them. We're more or less taking all these valuable things that we're gonna be going. We're gonna have gold asteroids and diamonds and stuff coming right by Earth, and instead of harvesting them ourselves, they're tricking us into the mining guild in Saturn is tricking us to bounce the stuff their way. We're actually helping them get even richer. What do you think? The rich get richer.
Well, they're right. I mean,
and you know more about their culture than I do.
When we sent,
wait. Don't your people eat gold, Brody? It's like sustenance.
We eat everything.
Joe, why are you trying to starve a civilization?
Yeah, we're not picky. Okay, we're not picky. But when we were flew,
they eat gold and they drink alcohol like college kids.
Yeah,
Goldschlager.
When we flew in, oh God, Goldschlager! I can tell you stories.
Yeah.
And so could everybody else.
All right. I'm sure everybody else could tell the real story, but I'll tell you my story.
And by the way, Cassini, I'm convinced now, was not destroyed. It was delivering. That was a probe that was there was something that it was confiscated or something.
So Cassini was destroyed. I believe Cassini was. They shot that one down because it got too close.
Okay. But anyway,
their force field, however, is made up of like dust particles. Okay, right? We know that in Saturn, like the
rings.
Well, that's like the buzzsaw.
It's like a giant sanding disc.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But on the surface of Saturn, we know it's like really windy, right? Or supposedly.
Well, it spins.
You would know better than us.
All right. So up in the atmosphere, there's like huge wind and it's blowing around dust and particles and stuff like that. Joe, you're kind of right here. Right. Because where do you take the dirt from the mining? Mm-hmm. Right? It has to go somewhere. It doesn't it's not a video game where you mine something and it just like pops up to the surface.
Yeah, it makes a mess.
Yeah, it makes a mess.
Right.
When you dig, there's dirt everywhere and you're like covered in it. Yeah. Well, where do you do with it? Well, the Saturnians have been smart enough to put that up in the atmosphere.
To cloak their civilization.
To cloak their civilizations, to give them a barrier, an actual atmosphere, because otherwise they wouldn't have one. They'd be like Mars and just like frost giants.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they're so damn far away. But this is keeping the heat in. Right? It's a nice... They're basically underground dwellers without being underground.
Yeah. No, it serves many purposes, and I also think the rings are a diversionary tactic, because like how you're always saying, hey, watch my hand over here.
Yeah.
And then so everybody pays attention to the rings. They don't pay attention to like the north and south poles of Saturn, which who knows? That may be where all the stuff's coming in.
I think you're kind of right though, in the sense, and let's tie in your Venetians over here too.
Okay. Well, are they partnering or are they at odds? Because they want these resources as well.
I have a feeling that there's a little bit of quid pro quo when it comes to this.
See, I think we're in the middle of a civil war here. I think we're in the middle of this.
I think I'm figuring out who's financing Elon Musk.
Yeah, right. Honestly, and we're the dupes. We're sitting there. Oh, get away from us, you asteroids! And these guys, they're the ones collecting them.
Blow them up. Do the right thing.
No, I think the University of Colorado's right. Man, mind that bad boy.
Well,
exactly.
We need to get in on the action, no doubt.
Right.
I think we are definitely missing out when it comes down to the brass tacks. But if you were going to just bump it, say there's an asteroid, it's just rock. We have plenty of that.
So we think. We don't know what's under the surface.
Well, but here's the thing. There's nothing that we need.
We don't know that.
Blow it up.
Brody, that's what they want you to think.
Well, when we blow it up, guess what's going to come out from the surface?
Well, but
whatever it was.
But then instead of collecting one big thing, you got to collect 8 million little small whatever. That sounds like a lot of work. I don't know, man.
It fits in your pocket.
The big question is, who do you team up with? I mean, obviously the Saturnians are further away.
Due to proxy, it's the Venetians.
The Venetians, but I still feel like they've infiltrated the space system, the space program.
Well, that's no doubt.
Yeah, I mean,
to what end?
Didn't you guys talk about that last season?
Yeah, but there's so many moving parts. Now I don't know, but it's just, I feel like the big thing is we need some sort of, not a magnet, but we need some sort of like a grabber.
I don't think
we need to grab these asteroids and bring them in.
Hold on. Let's look at it right now. We are just under 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Didn't like a minute and a half into it, I said the word tractor beam.
Yeah, tractor beam.
Okay,
that's what we need. We need tractor beam technology
y'all
to push or to
close.
pull in.
Y'all want to bring them closer here? No, man. We need to go down.
The thing about a tractor beam, though, is that you can hold it in a specific orbit so that the miners can get to it easily.
Okay, that's a better idea.
You know what I like about
I always think of a tractor beam and it just pulls in close. It's like a magnet.
No,
you can repel with a tractor
Star Wars,
beam,
but
too.
not everything is Star Wars.
No, in Star Trek, you can repel or pull in. You know, you could actually bounce it away with a tractor beam or hold it. I like the in-your-face nature of a tractor beam too, because we could have this giant asteroid that we've got a nice grip on it, and we're kind of like, hey, check out what we got, Venetia.
You really want to piss them off, huh? Those Venetians are gonna go, bro.
Hey. We want to show that we can compete.
Never trust a Gryffindor with a tractor beam.
Well, first of all, you don't trust a Gryffindor anyways.
That's true. I wouldn't trust a Gryffindor with a
I love my
rope.
Gryffindor friends, but for the most part, the reason you do brave things is because you dumb.
Hey, I disagree, sir. Yeah. Anyway, but
I'll remember that. I'll remember that the next time you're driving to Chicago in the middle of the night.
Okay. Anyway, I don't remember that.
You got to be brave to drive to Chicago or back from Chicago at night.
Well, I do that. Okay. Anyway, so we're on to you.
I do that all the time.
Yeah. So once again, and Brody, it sounds like. So are we in agreement again?
I think Well, to a point. I think that
I am in amusement.
Well, yeah.
I think your Saturnian theory.
I think it doesn't matter, but I just want them to be happy.
They look so happy conspiring together.
My theory though is, Joe, why would they need to get the asteroids that are floating by them when the asteroid belt's pretty damn close to them anyway?
Yeah, but this is the goal. This is kind of like what is it when they release all the new Star Wars toys? This is the big stuff.
Like today?
Yeah.
Force Friday?
It's like Force Friday. This is when when you get into this part of the galaxy, this is when you get all of the big items. So it's like,
we've got the collectibles, the rares by us.
Yeah.
It's like shiny Pokemon.
Yeah.
You want to go to GoFest to get the shiny Pokemon.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so this, you better be ready to go. It's just like on Black Friday when they open the doors to the store. You get in grab the large screen TV.
No.
You grab
the smart man
Yeah.
already got on his computer on Wednesday and ordered that same crap at that same price and has it in hand by Monday.
But this is actually stuff that's good. Like these resources are useful. This isn't a stupid TV set.
No. You bite your tongue. All right. Joe, you just lost every bit of your nerd credit. Get out. Geek Tank, we'll have an audition for a new Joe.
There we go.
Because Joe apparently thinks TV's not resource.
All right. Speaking of TV, let's talk about our Netflix.
We've talked about them.
We've played them.
And now we'll show you.
The all-new Twitch channel from Geek Tank Radio is here.
Go Ready Player Geek.
Where we unpack and dive into single-player story-driven games, to fighters, to multiplayer shooters, to tabletop and card games, and everything in between.
And stay up to date with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Ready Player Geek.
Check us out now at twitch.tv/ReadyPlayerGeek.
Streaming every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday night at 8 Central.
That euphoric feeling when you found just the right binge? Let the Geek Patrol be your stream dealer as they help you find your net fix.
You know those shows that you see the trailer for and you're like, nah, sorry.
Yeah.
This was one of them. I think I'd seen the trailer for about a month and change, or at least seen the lead up to In the Shadow of the Moon.
Huh.
It is a futuristic time jump romp.
No, you already did it wrong.
It's not wrong because it is based kind of in the future, in the past.
Yeah.
And it jumps all around.
I was going to say, like, one of the main segments of this whole thing takes place in 2015.
True.
It's Netflix?
Yes, it's a Netflix original.
Don't spoil it for me.
In the Shadow of the Moon. Yeah. All right, I won't spoil.
Wait, so you didn't want to see it, and then you watched it anyway?
Well, I only saw it because I finished Disenchantment Season 2, or Part 2, or whatever you want to call it.
Was that any better? Because I didn't like the first season. But...
I like it.
Okay, all right, good.
I'm also a Matt Groening fan.
Well, I am too, but
he can poop, and I'll be like, oh, let me watch.
That's so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Well,
sorry.
hey.
I just didn't think it was that funny.
Let's get back to our subject.
Hang
Right.
on, just because you brought it up, it's very Futurama this season of Disney.
Good.
Okay. But anyway, because there's a Farnsworth.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, so anyway, but in the Shadow of the Moon, I just clicked it just because like it was something to watch. And boy,
we know you don't really judge things until you've seen them.
Not really.
Like,
well, I kinda,
you'll watch everything.
I just about.
Again, you would watch Matt Groening poop.
I really would.
Thanks.
But yeah, so this one popped on. I saw the trailer and I was like, this is gonna suck. You know, just like the Island, right? I gave it a shot. I gave it 3 episodes. God, that was terrible. But I put this one on. I was expecting to watch maybe 10, 15 minutes of it.
Yeah.
At least I'll give it that.
Mm-hmm.
No. I was compelled.
Set the hook early, did they?
And what's great about it is I was in the same boat. I'd seen the trailers. I saw the thing when it first debuted, and it's like in the spotlight, and it's like it's rolling through. And it's like, oh, okay,
this is gonna suck.
Yeah.
The only thing that looked remotely interesting was the fight in the subway,
which, by the way, was like nothing.
Nothing. It's like nothing.
It's like not even like. It's kind of a part of the story, but
that part of the movie, which in the trailer is the most amazing part of the trailer. It's kind of like when you're trying to hawk up, like your sinus, sinus drainage, and you can't get anything up. That's what it is in that movie.
Yeah.
You're like, and then like it's more along the lines. You see this, and you're like, okay, I need to know what is going on.
Yeah, and that part takes place in the past in the 80s, 88. In 1988, which is ironic, that's when my brother was born. And so I was like, oh, that's cool, and they did a very good job of time-piecing.
That's what I want to know.
Philadelphia.
I want to watch it and see how accurate it looks.
And it does. It jumps. Each segment is 9 years.
9 years. And it's based on the moon.
And
Is that the movie about the werewolfy person?
No. There's no werewolves. There is time
She's
jumps.
not werewolfy, but she is.
She's a bitey. She bites. She does the bitey. I saw a trailer for something, and it was like
she just kind of.
I think that's bitten.
This cop.
No. What she does, Joe, earmuffs.
Yeah.
What she does is she injects an enzyme into their neck.
Yeah.
And it looks like she may have.
It looks like
I did see a trailer for this, and I also was like,
yeah, it's probably gonna suck.
Hard pass.
All right, Joe, we're out of the.
Well, the great earmuffs.
Okay, earmuffs again.
So the great thing about this enzyme is that it liquefies their brains.
Yeah.
And
so they bleed out their orifices.
So and so like these people just like bleed out of their eyes and their nose and their ears, and their brain matter's like coming out of their ears. And so like when the cops show up, they're like, what the heck?
And what's really bad is that it's like in the very beginning you get 3 victims right off the bat that they know about that all happened at the same time in the exact same way. So they're like, how is this happening?
There's a serial killer because it's the same MO.
Yeah.
But these people aren't connected at all.
You find out that it was more than 3. What was it? It's like 9 of them in the first.
9 of them in '88, and then it was like 15 in 2015. It was like the number grows, and
because she's going back 9 years at a time.
It's really good.
That's crazy.
And here's the bottom line to it: they're killing off an idea.
Yeah.
And so
they're basically they're retroactively killing off a terrorist group that's going to destroy society.
So it's the same MO. Would you kill Hitler? If you could go back in time, would you kill Hitler? Well, it wouldn't matter because Hitler is an idea.
Yeah.
So how do you kill an idea?
You have to do it bit by bit until you make it back to the source.
Right.
So you can't wait to watch this.
It's so good.
They basically, the theory is you have to get rid of anyone who would have picked up on this idea.
Right.
Can I take my earplugs out?
No.
Okay.
No, but
I'm hearing things about Hitler and.
I will say this. This
It had
obsession,
no business being this good.
No, it didn't. And your main protagonist, you hate him. At certain points, you hate his guts.
There was a part where I really wanted him to die. Like, I kind of wanted the person who was time jumping to, like, kill him. Like, I knew there was.
Hold on.
Earmuffs.
Joe, earmuffs.
Oh my gosh.
Was it the part after he left? He abandoned his daughter, basically.
Yes, I wanted the time jumper, and I knew they had a connection somehow.
Yeah.
But I wanted her to literally kill him, like stab him in the neck with the thing, because he is so, at that point, he is so unlikable. He's so not fatherly.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. It's when he's picking her up from high school.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that's because when he's picking her up from high school, he's taking her back to her aunt's house because she doesn't live with him anymore.
Right. She doesn't live with him.
That's the abandoned part.
And I'm like, what a dirtbag.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, what a dirtbag. Yeah. He has thrown his life away. What a beautiful, young daughter that he's got, and he's throwing that relationship away.
Which, in the beginning, it's like you meet his wife, and she's the most likable character I've ever seen in a movie.
I know.
You fall in love with her right off the bat.
And she's pregnant, by the way.
And she dies in childbirth.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Oh, it's super sad.
Wow, can't
but
wait.
tell me something, Brody. All right, we're out of spoiler territory. Tell me, each one of the segments, though, could have been an episode.
Yeah. Oh, I thought...
It's so intense with so much happening at once.
After the movie was over, because it is a movie, it's like an hour.
It's an hour and 55 minutes.
Yeah, 55. I really thought that they kind of crammed some of that together. Like, I really wanted more 1988. I wanted more 2015. I wanted to see more of their life in those moments, because you're right. It could have been like one of those limited series.
Well, there's stuff like that Maddox, his partner in the beginning, is like alluding to stuff that's happened with his brother-in-law.
Yeah, right.
That you're like, you never really get to see why this character is considered a dick, because he just seems like a detective.
Right. Yeah, and the joke is that the brother-in-law is kind of a not mean-spirited, but he just tells it like it is.
Yeah,
he's just a straight shooter.
He is a hard-nosed cop who doesn't pull any punches.
No gruff, no gruff, and that's
Michael C. Hall.
Yeah,
from 6 Feet Under and Dexter fame.
Yeah, and he does a really bang-up job on this. It's really good.
Him and Bokeem Woodbine too. I wish I had gotten some more Bokeem Woodbine, because I like him in pretty much everything.
I know.
But was it just me, or did he look older in '88 than he does in '97
when he's stumbling around? Yeah, it's really, really fantastically done. The great news too. No sequel.
No sequel.
No. This
One
is
and done.
This is wrapped up very nicely in a bow.
It's got more of that.
It's got a good ending, and if you were going to do a sequel, this would have to be like so far flung in the future, dealing with a different group of people.
Yeah, a completely different mindset.
It would be, the idea would be the sequel, not the
story. Yeah, the characters. There could not be any way to continue these characters.
Yeah. So
fantastic in The Shadow of the Moon. Yeah. Really, really well done, and it had no business of being.
It had no business being as good as it was. Any of you guys over there on the other side got?
Is there any time left,
dude? Yeah, we're a podcast. We can do whatever we want.
What'd you watch, Allie?
I've just been catching up on all the fall premieres. Fall's my favorite time in television. We have the final season of How to Get Away with Murder, which I am excited and sad for, because I love this show.
I'm done with that show.
But also, How many times can we get away with murder? Because it's been a lot now.
Yeah,
and
come on.
We gotta wrap it up at some point. I started Stumptown, which was really good.
God,
I love it. It's very funny.
You just can't not like it. I mean, there's no way to be angry at this show. Or
Jake Johnson's wonderful.
I mean,
that girl from How I Met Your Mother's wonderful.
Lisa Mulders.
Yes.
Like Maria Hill.
Yes. All wonderful.
Her brother makes me smile.
Yeah.
He's adorable.
I love it. And I want more shows and stuff to do that.
Absolutely.
It's not hard.
What's our thoughts since it's premiered and you brought it up? Bluff City Law. What's your thoughts?
First episode was a beautiful representation of Memphis in its visuals, but it felt a little forced.
Yeah, they were really trying.
A little tropey. It's like we've got the daughter who's kind of sold her soul to the corporations. You got the father fighting for redemption. You've got the illegitimate brother who comes out of nowhere at the end. But then you're like, all right, I'm going to watch the show because I enjoyed it, but it really is just a retread of everything we've seen before. And then the second episode, where they don't try and force the issue, completely knocks it out of the park.
Turn, and you're like, wow, this is a really good show.
And it's like it got its bearings. Obviously, the pilot was a rough cut.
Yeah.
The second episode's amazing. And yes, if you want to see, and they will even show you the dirty, destroyed parts of Memphis, but you will see them in such a light that you can't help but love it.
Yeah, they take parts of Orange Mound and different areas, and you're like, all right.
Yeah.
We do have a pretty cool city.
If nothing else, it's inspiring to the point of almost, all right, if you are one of those people who even has a little bit of loyalty to your city, you want to get out there and help.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's what I immediately wanted to do. I was like, let's go build a house over there. Like,
I was like working in service industry. I'm like, yes, more shows, more movies. I want tourists to tip me money so I can pay my bills.
Well, yeah, but that's from the capitalist mindset. But from the activist mindset, you say it and you're like, I could go help paint that wall.
Yeah. It's really cool.
And I hope it does well for like things like Paint Memphis. Like I hope that they can include that somehow in the show, at least in the backgrounds and things, so that we can still get like pretty murals and the city won't paint over them.
I would like to see them focus on some of the things like like the I Am a Man mural that they used in the beginning.
Yeah.
So pretty.
And they shot it in such a way. It's like if you've ever been down there, you can see where
it's cool
there's
anyway. Yeah,
you can see where there's chunks of wall missing and everything. But they didn't try and beautify it for the show.
Right. Yeah.
But they've shot it in such a light that you still see all that stuff, but it's like it warms your heart.
It's what makes it great.
It makes it Memphis.
Right.
And I like
there's so many shows in Memphis that aren't in Memphis.
They don't do that well.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm intrigued by like the big main plot, I guess, for this season with that guy in jail who didn't actually do it, and like where that's going to lead. And I'm glad they haven't like given us too much yet. Like,
we
find out he hasn't done it, and that's all we got.
If you're looking for a true representation, because we have a lot of listeners who are not in this area, right?
Yeah. Right.
And if you're like, where are these guys really? Well, that's it.
You want to get into the geek tank mindset.
Yeah, like this is what we look at on the daily, and we see it. And you're right, Brandon. They didn't try to like beautify those areas or those murals. I mean, they're gritty. Like, this is a gritty town. Like, we're blue collar. Like, we are, for lack of a better term, because I know we have listeners up there, and you'll understand it. We are the Pittsburgh of the South.
You think so?
Where it's blue collar, you earn what you work for.
Yeah. But I was gonna say,
and there's not a whole lot of people who are. I mean, this may sound bad saying it. There's not a whole lot of people who will step out there and help you, but it's not because they don't want to. It's because there's just not a whole lot that some of the people in this city who have good hearts can really do.
Right.
Because
we're trying our best.
Right. I got my own problems, I got my own tribulations, and if I have time, I'll help you. But I don't necessarily do have time.
Well, I will say this, because when I do these in-school workshops, I go to a lot of really dangerous neighborhood and a lot of really kind of run down, and I've always kind of felt welcome there. The people, they talk to me, and I felt like we could hang together.
Yeah, the Southern charm is not lacking in Memphis.
And it's definitely not like you see portrayed in media elsewhere, where it's like
Memphis is violent.
It's like Joe, you're a middle-aged blue collar white
boring
male
guy,
going into an inner city school. You're like, oh, why would he ever do that?
You're gonna get shot.
Joe goes into these places, and these kids light up because he's there to inspire them.
It's like talking about.
He tells you it's like you can be an artist, you can do this, you can pursue your dreams. And it's just, I mean, that's just kind of how our mindset across the board.
That
is very.
And I'll throw to Allie and go, we're also a food town.
Yeah,
that's I mean, everybody thinks in New Orleans. I got news for you guys. You come visit us for a week, we can promise you 10 pounds.
Yeah, gumbo, barbecue, we've got it all.
We got
here,
some
man.
food, man.
The great thing about this is because we are the distribution capital, we've got stuff from everywhere.
Yeah.
I love
and we don't shy away from anything.
Yeah.
Even if we ain't ate it before, we'll take you there just so we can try it with
haggis.
you.
And one thing I won't
do that one again.
As long as we're on this subject, because I moved here from San Diego, which is the most beautiful city in America, and I was really.
And you lived in Chicago before then.
Yeah, but when I first moved here, I'm not going to lie, I was like, gosh, what was I thinking moving away from the beach and all that? And now I've grown to the point where this really is my home. Like that, and it's not just basically about it's not like the landscape, because it's pretty flat out here.
But the drugs are working.
No, but there's definitely a charm to Memphis, and I'm glad that this show kept, because I feel like this is my home. Warts and all, I don't care. But and
that's kind of that's also the kind of the mindset we try to keep here on Geek Tank is it's like we may be from the rough part of town, but
we're still accepting.
Yeah,
we love everybody.
Yeah,
warts and all.
Exactly.
I'm extra warty.
Yeah.
Just a toad.
I'll just say this real quick because I'm Abstract season 2 came out. That one about the arts.
Oh, is that good? Is this season 2 good?
I think season 2 is better. Well, here's the only thing I will say: if I could sit there and listen to these people talk about art all day. I like conversations about it.
Yeah.
But there's one episode I didn't finish yet. But this lady is a architect, but she's Alan, you'll like this. She's using natural forms, like she's looking at how cocoons are made and how other stuff to make things out of alternate building materials. So we're not using plastics, so we're not using all this stuff, and structuring things like the shape of a leaf or just it's cool. I can't wait to get through it.
Hey, when
but
does
it's
your
very
builder
creative
show come
one.
back on?
Making it?
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. I've been waiting for that.
No, it's I've got a date. I just don't have it here. It's written down for the segment that's coming up where it's locked and loaded, cleaning house.
Oh, good.
Oh, cool.
But also one quick thing I will say, because the Great British Baking Show season 7 is out, and this year they're releasing it one episode at a time. And I'll be honest, I've never enjoyed the show more. It's like every Friday we sit down as a family and we're watching. We can't wait till the next episode. And I'm like,
I meant to ask you and Allie because I know both of you love the show, but it's like how you were liking the weekly format
I like
that they're
it
doing.
better.
I was like, I haven't watched it yet, but I'm sure it's good.
It just it's the way TV used to be. I know our buddy.
Person.
No, why am I? Okay, no, but anyway, whatever. They talk about weekly television. It makes a difference, watching episodic or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's how it is with all these fall premieres. Every day I get on Hulu and I'm like, what's
Ned
the new
Candy.
episode that I can watch?
Ned Candy from Opera Memphis.
From Opera Memphis. Yeah, sorry, Ned.
Gotta look into getting him back in soon because we're getting close to convention time, and we always bring him in for the opera season.
Yeah. I just saw him. He looked good.
Yeah.
Oh, they had 30 Days of Opera downtown the other day.
Right.
Sorry, unrelated. They were singing and it was cool.
We're talking about Memphis at this point, so
we had Memphis Pride not too long ago, and I saw Ned during that. And,
yeah,
he spoke real
good dude.
Hope you're doing good, Ned.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ned.
This took a weird turn.
Yeah.
But I need to go back and watch something.
I'm going to ease it back over into ancient aliens and UFOs.
There we go.
Man, ancient aliens.
It's not. We reached my part of the year. So of course, every show
season.
It is
spooky
so
season.
Suddenly it's Alien Invasion Week and Monster Week and Cryptid Week and of course Memphis has some UFO ties. So,
Elvis.
Yeah, well, we
don't talk about that.
There was a sighting, Alan, right? There was a sighting back in the 70s.
There have been several well-documented sightings in the Memphis area. So, it was a lot of fun to dive into all of the extensive number of shows.
Yeah.
I really wasn't quite aware how many shows there were. But oh my gosh, you can fill in an amazing amount of time.
Yeah.
Of looking at alien craft and what did and didn't and maybe and shoulda and coulda happened. And
BuzzFeed's Unsolved is some of my favorite,
Which one?
BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Yeah.
Love it. Love them cryptids.
I can't watch anything that says BuzzFeed.
It's so funny. They're so funny.
Because
the one guy is super pro ghost, and the other guy is just like, "What up, boy? What up, demons? It's your boy." And I'm like, yeah.
So I'll throw in my last Memphis shot is you will rarely run into a UFO in Memphis because we generally know what's being fried.
True. Okay, there you go.
Geek Tank Radio energized by
Dark Oak Press and Media, an indie publisher and media provider offering everything from Alice in Memphis to mystery to young adult and everything in between. Get the latest at darkoakpress.com.
More below and on 1019kissfm.com. Keyword Geek Tank. Let the high-velocity bullet points rain down on you as you get caught in the crossfire of Locked
Your bullets
and Loaded.
They're really fast.
I know it's been a while, but it's time for Locked and Loaded.
Yay!
Well, you only bring it to us if we need it.
Well, it's true. It's true. And, we've missed a few things this month, and, of course, I wasn't here last week, so I didn't get to rail on some things. I do want to give a couple of corrections really quick. That are going to, fix a few things that were misstepped last week and break Joe's heart as well.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
May as well.
First of all, the dude who was the park director who got fired for Galaxy's Edge, that's all BS. Catherine Powell, who was the president, or she was the CEO of Disney Parks Western region, her position with the company was eliminated because they're taking everything back right under the parks experiences and merchandise CEO, which is Bob Choprak. She didn't get they're even with what they call the massive failure of Galaxy's Edge. The parks lost 3% revenue.
Okay.
Total.
Wait, why would that break my heart?
From one quarter to no, the next part is what breaks your heart. From one quarter to the next, 3% total across the board.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's not about Galaxy's Edge being a failure. It's about the fact that
nobody's going to the parks
this summer. There was a price raise at the park,
right?
And
a lot of the people out there that used to give you awesome discounted family packages didn't do it this year.
Yeah.
Okay,
they didn't. Gotcha. That didn't exist. Yeah. So nobody was going to the parks,
and the heat was brutal.
The record heat we had this year kind of sucked.
That's true. Yeah.
Anyway, the other thing, and this is where we break Joe's heart. Rian Johnson's trilogy is still happening. They've been talking
you
about.
Sure, this isn't an alternate universe like what the Joker was living in.
They both.
Maybe you're just. Maybe I'm imagining you saying this right now.
No. Well, if so, you're the one with the mental break.
Jeez. Okay.
That wouldn't be a surprise.
With him doing promotions right now for Knives Out, it's come up a lot. They are in pre-production. They are already scouting locations. Script outlines are done. Anybody who told you that it's gone, they're lying and should be, drawn and quartered.
Don't talk to Andy that way.
I'll talk to Andy that way.
Okay. Also, Allie, calm down.
Sorry.
She's been pretty calm.
I need all you guys
I've been very
bring the stress
calm
levels down from last week. Oh my goodness.
All right.
Are we a little on edge?
Oh, a little on edge. I couldn't listen to the whole show.
Okay.
It was sad. Anyway.
This is a locked and loaded, right?
Yeah. We're getting to it.
It feels like a meeting.
Actually, this is me, fixing things, because one of the things you didn't talk about was the fact that Hulu killed Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Oh, do we care?
Ghost Rider was being touted during D23 as one of the big things Hulu was doing. It's huge. They were doing Ghost Rider, and then they're going to do Hellstrom, which was going to lead to even more of the Midnight Sun stuff.
Okay.
Well, they've killed off Ghost Rider for creative differences. And I will guarantee you that without another, Hellstrom's not a good enough character to support a series.
No.
He's a supporting character.
Yeah.
There's a reason his comic has failed multiple times. Sadly, he is the he is the equivalent of what Carol Danvers is in the comics. She can't keep her book going. I still love her in the cartoons and the live action movies though.
Right. Okay.
I don't care what anybody else feels about it. Anyway, so yes, that is gone. And, of course, right now we're not even hearing anything else about Moon Knight because it's kind of disappeared. So I'm kind of scared that it's gone, too.
I don't think it's gone.
I hope it's not.
Maybe it's being retooled.
Well, they retool way too much.
Okay.
That being said, something else that we're going to talk about right now is Crisis on Infinite Earths. With all of our DC shows gearing up on the CW, we are seeing a lot of commercials, all of which have ties to Crisis. We also, we are learning, like, every couple of days we're hearing about another person who's involved.
Right. It's got me excited about it again.
We've seen pictures of Tom Welling at the farm from Smallville. Ashley...
the side-by-side Supermans.
Yeah, the side-by-side Superman. Ashley Scott, who played the Huntress in the Fox WB production Birds of Prey from 100 years ago. She is reprising her role as Helena Kyle in Crisis.
Really?
Her co-star in that, who played Dinah Lance, Rachel Scarston, already has a recurring role on Batwoman. She will be on set for Crisis. Other people we've got showing up. We've got, of course, we got Erica Durance reprising her role as Lois Lane, as well as the Lois Lane from Supergirl. Mm-hmm. We've seen them both on set. Jonathan Shake has come back as Jonah Hex. John Wesley Shipp, who plays the 90s Flash, and we've seen him throughout the series, the Flash series. John Cryer is back as Lex Luthor. Mm-hmm. We've got former Robin Burt Ward. We don't know who he's playing just yet, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised if it's old Dick Grayson, because Kevin Conroy is playing old Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And right now, the rumors is that they're still working deals to have appearances by Mark Hamill and Linda Carter.
Oh, that'd
Mark
be
Hamill,
awesome.
of course, was the trickster on the
Flash.
90s Flash and the new Flash. And Linda Carter not only played the president, who was an alien in Supergirl, she was, of course, Wonder Woman. This thing keeps getting bigger and bigger for a 5-episode arc. 3 of which will happen at the end of this year, and then the last 2 in January of next year.
But it's spanning all the shows.
There is a 3-week gap between them, and we know that the cast of Black Lightning is going to be in this, even though the show is not going to be, because I think its show doesn't debut until later. It's going to do the same thing with Legends as it always does. One will have a half season, then the other one will come back. Of course, we've got all the Legends, all the basic Flash characters, all the Supergirl characters, now with her costume that has pants.
Thank God.
Which is hilarious because she makes a comment about it as soon as she puts the suit on for the first time.
Yeah.
Because it's a nanotech suit. Crisis is growing. And by this time, it actually happening, we may be involved in it at that point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll do a cameo.
I have the assault vehicle.
Yeah. Moving from Crisis to yet another reunion. Things that we haven't hit on here. News from last week. Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum will reprise their roles from the original Jurassic Park in Jurassic World 3.
I'm so excited.
Chris Pratt did a Instagram story on this, and he was like giddy.
Are you ready to watch me shed so many tears on that premiere day?
Allie's going to need bottles upon bottles of water because she's going to be so dehydrated.
Keep rehydrating myself while I watch it.
Wait, when is that coming out? Because
that is, I believe, 2021.
The way they left that last movie, you kind of were waiting for. It wasn't a perfect movie. But
I can't wait for Laura Dern to be like
gold-bloomed.
Yeah,
of course.
That's all I got to say.
If you didn't get a chance to. Go online and check for the Jurassic World short that just debuted.
Yeah, that's really good.
It's amazing, and it is the beginning of the gap bridge between Jurassic World 2 and
I can't wait for Laura Dern to be like, what did you do?
Now, of course, you guys talked about Spidey being back,
yes,
which is awesome. We have now learned that the reason Spidey is back is all on Tom Holland's shoulders.
It's only Tom Holland.
Tom Holland is the one.
We don't deserve him.
He kept going back and forth to the Bob Iger and Tom Rothman and going, guys, we need to do this. We need to do this. Come on, guys. He was like, and they finally agreed and came back to the table. And I'm sorry, my prediction was wrong. It wasn't 70-30. It is 75-25.
Yeah.
But, he's so cute.
Disney will be fronting 25% of the budgets on everything and marketing on that.
Daddy,
and they
I
will
just
get
want to
25%
play with my
back.
friends. Please just let me play with my friends.
Hang on,
It's
real
just
quick.
one sleepover.
How old is Tom Holland?
23.
Okay, so he's old enough where he's not going to turn into a Justin Bieber. He's going to stay cool, right? He's not going to turn into a jerk.
He's a lovely little
he's a good guy. We don't want him to.
He's not going to have his. He's hopefully not going to have his jerk phase that he's got to get back into religion in order to get away from.
Okay,
like Bieber did.
Yeah, just stick.
Anyway.
Stay true, Tom.
So,
be a cute little British spider boy.
Yeah.
So
I just want to play with my friends.
What's awesome about this is that, with Venom 2 in production, that opens him up for a cameo in Venom 2.
Yeah.
It opens him up for a cameo in Morbius, in Silk, Nightwatch, and all these other things they have in development.
I want Tom Holland in everything.
We know that he's going to be in, of course, Spider-Man 3 and one other Marvel movie. That being said, as long as they can still play nice, the extension on that is for 3 more movies with Marvel, and then, of course, he's free to do whatever Spider-Man movies they want him to do.
Yeah.
I would like to see this guy continue to play Spider-Man until he's at least in his mid-30s.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then I want him to pass it off to Miles.
Well, he could. He could, though. He's young enough, and he looks young enough. He
really
can get away with it.
But speaking of Venom, I'm now scared about Venom 2. Because Hutch Parker, who was a major producer of the X-Men franchise, has now come on board. And
wait, which franchise?
The
first
X-Men
or
franchise.
Second one. Well, there's 2 different
in general.
ones.
It's all
the
the same.
new class and the old.
It's
ones.
all the same production teams, dude.
Is it?
Yeah.
There's a different vibe to the newer ones, though.
The newer ones suck.
The first 2 were pretty good, but then
so I saw something on this.
That is nervous.
That makes me nervous.
News.
Well, with the buy of Fox, right?
Right.
Can they start using the word mutants?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You'll expect to hear it in Doctor Strange.
Okay, then Tony Stark gave out a rundown of all the projects that S.H.I.E.L.D. was on.
Project Exodus was not a mutant project.
It wasn't?
No. Project Exodus is.
Doesn't that mean Wolverine?
No, that's Weapon X. That is Project X. Project Exodus is an armor program.
Okay.
And I want to believe it
However,
is.
there has been the rumor that Jackman, if he wants to stay furry.
They told him if
you want to stay furry,
Marvel has
you
offered
can,
it out. It's like, you want to still be Logan? You are our Logan.
Can he keep doing that? I mean, how do you keep getting in that?
Dude,
no, I'm saying, how do you get in that kind of shape?
I was going to say this.
He's getting
That's
older.
the thing about it. Marvel will put him in the costume, and it won't matter if he's like jacked.
Okay, so he doesn't have to do that.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you watched anything
Yeah.
from his current production,
he's still ripped.
Holy crap!
Okay.
Yeah,
and that man is bouncing and just he's bouncing around like Nightcrawler, but it's great.
Yeah.
Now this is something, Brody. You're a music nerd.
Absolutely.
We love our music, and this is one thing I'm kind of excited about, and that's Scenes from an Italian Restaurant.
Yes.
Billy Joel has teamed with MGM to produce an anthology series.
It looks so good.
Each episode will be based on one of his songs.
Yeah, so the Piano Man, you're actually going to get the play out of Piano Man.
Yeah.
So like,
wait, what? Like a show?
there's an old man sitting next to me,
it's like
making love.
it is going to be.
No, I get that.
It's going to be an anthology show, and it's a drama. And yes, you're going to get it's like things Uptown Girl, Piano Man.
That's pretty interesting concept.
It's really cool. Well, all of his songs were very.
Well, they're all they tell a story.
Yeah, it's great.
Piano Man's a brilliant song.
Brilliant
Even though I'm not a
story.
fan of all his music, that song's really good.
I can listen to Billy Joel on the
The
day.
lyrics are good. He's a good lyricist.
They have to save it for the series finale, and then they can do "We Didn't Start the Fire."
Oh man,
I don't want that song stuck in my head.
It's already been made into an anthology. It's called The Office.
That's garbage
there you
compared to
go.
what they're going to do with Billy Joel. Like,
Ryan started that
Would
fire.
you modernize it though?
No.
Just keep it the way it is.
I think you got to keep it the way it is. Now in the episode you can
That
have
music
stuff from now.
video. That music video for "We Didn't Start the Fire" is like because it's just flashes of what he's
Stuff.
saying.
Yeah.
You know,
You can put anything.
The only part I remember is when the Berlin Wall part, and then it's Reagan. It goes Reagan, Berlin Wall, and then something else. And it was like that's the one part because it was all on fire.
Yep.
You know, there's like fire
Palestine.
surrounding all those clips, and so I cannot wait for this. This is
Sounds interesting.
yeah, this is gonna be really good.
I'm remembering a little place in Dallas with the piano bar that would just. I'm having a Cappuccino's flashback from 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, basically the style they'll go for. I mean, think Twilight Zone without the creepy twist.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Drama. Yeah.
I'm
Tales
down.
from the City, stuff like that.
Totally down with this. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for important things that we didn't touch on. If I missed one, I don't care, really. I know that there's plenty of news breaking right now, and we'll just try and conclude that as we go on.
We'll fix
throughout
it
the
next
season.
week.
Yeah, because that's the way it goes. Anyway, that's it for Locked and Loaded, and next up, we're going to see just how random Joe can be.
We've talked about them.
We've played them.
And now we'll show you.
The all-new Twitch channel from Geek Tank Radio is here,
Go Ready Player Geek.
where we unpack and dive into single-player story-driven games, to fighters, to multiplayer shooters, to tabletop and card games, and everything in between.
And stay up to date with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Ready Player Geek.
Check us out now at twitch.tv/ReadyPlayerGeek.
Streaming every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday night at 8 Central.
There's always those stories that defy labels. Thankfully, there's the GTR Random Roundup.
All right, beautiful people, I have not a throwback, but a callback to a conspiracy that we had,
Oh.
We love callbacks.
which came from all the stories. We have another one. Another gator. Where it's not supposed to be.
right.
Yeah.
A young alligator found near the Pennsylvania River
Oh, wow.
is the 7th alligator found in the state this year.
Wait, how far is that from Chicago? 8 hours or something? Because they're expanding.
yeah.
Chicago was the last one. Yeah.
This is in the Pennsylvania River. Let's see here. Humane Animal Rescue said that the small gator, dubbed Gus, was found Tuesday night near the Allegheny River in Lawrenceville.
See, he just thought he should be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand the confusion there. That's not.
Well, here there was a steel job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quote, don't get us wrong. We love having this little guy around, but wasn't 6 alligators in 1 year enough? The rescue said.
on Facebook, Gus was found near the Allegheny River in Lawrenceville last night, said Florina. You can keep your gators.
And keep your people.
Yeah, because we know
keep your men.
Those gators, those are just the lizard people that they can't control.
Yeah, this is the shot over the bow here. This is the beginning of the invasion into Pennsylvania. They're heading east, though.
Yeah, this is Pennsylvania, guys.
Well,
that's a show of force. They're heading to the capital of the United States.
No,
they're going to Washington,
I don't think so. I think they're going to see about these mutant albino alligators in the sewers of New York. They've heard stories all their lives.
I don't know, man. Or are they fleeing Washington?
I don't know if they're fleeing, but maybe they're headed to
They heard there's a really nice swamp there.
Yeah.
And nobody's draining it, so...
It hasn't been drained, so they're heading in.
Oh,
it's getting deeper and deeper.
Trust me to go political.
Okay. Well, I'm going to talk about unhealthy habits such as gambling. So,
trigger warning.
This story, though, I think is
I
interesting.
won a lot of money last week, guys, on football. So just
did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
Well, we're in the tail end of baseball season, so this guy, Jim Mattress Mac, right? He's this big mattress salesman.
Yeah.
He bet $3.5 million that the Houston Astros are going to win the World Series. So, well, here's how he did it, though. He showed up at this Biloxi casino, the Scarlet Pearl, and he had $3.5 million in his suitcase. He just walked up and plopped it down and said, I'm betting $3.
That's heavy. That happens a lot in Biloxi, though. I saw it when we were there. This guy literally had a duffel bag, and we were like, sketch. And he puts it down at the cashier's table, and it's full of money. And we were like, you might want to check those bills. They might be marked.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. So
he just got a ransom.
Is this the beginning of an Oceans movie?
For one thing, who does?
Because I'm feeling it.
This guy, so here's what I was going to ask you guys. So basically, he's got it at about 2-1 odds. So he's it's a little over. He'll win $7.7 million if they do win. But he promised to give back a $3,000 rebate to all of his customers, which comes to like $15 million. But
he's losing.
He's losing. He makes like 150 to 200 million in annual revenue. But this is my question for you. Anytime, I've been self-employed my whole life. There's one rule of thumb: you never tell anybody how much money you make. You don't share your books with anybody.
No, see,
you keep it close to the vest. This guy is telling us a little too much.
I don't care about telling you how much money I make. That's a generation.
You got a bag of cash.
Yeah,
man.
but you're an employee. You're not a business owner.
No, here's what you shouldn't do.
I think this is a mistake.
You don't tell people how much you put down on a bet.
Well, that too, or that you're an addicted gambler and you're betting 3.5. I just think there's a lot of things wrong with this guy, man.
So
from a business point of view,
I don't see a problem of sharing how much you make because it levels the playing field, and it tells your coworkers like, listen, you're no better than me, and I'm no better than you. So I'm completely like discussing. I don't mind discussing how much I weigh.
No, but like I said, that's different. If you start talking about how much money you're making, then your customers are like, well, why are you selling the mattress for $900? You jerk! You could sell it for $500 or something like that. It's like
the cost of your product doesn't mean that you're making all that money.
He's telling everybody how much he's. I don't know. I think the guy's an idiot.
I'm sorry.
He's carrying around $3.5 million in a suitcase.
Like, that's where he.
That's
fell.
heavy.
That's heavy.
I think that alone, I wouldn't do business with this guy.
You don't tell how much money you put down.
I don't like carrying my laundry, let alone that much money. That's heavy.
Yeah,
not until the bet's done.
I have nothing against the Astros.
I actually money you won.
If they win, I'm
get a little
fine.
more
But,
upbeat than that.
Okay, good.
Lord,
all right.
Bag of money, really?
I don't know. That's pretty upbeat.
I am upbeat about a bag of money.
I would like a bag of money.
I'll get up and beat somebody for a bag of money.
You know, I can't say make any further comment about a bag of money other than no, don't have a bag of money.
One other thing, Jim Mattress Mac. Is that a weird nickname?
I love it.
I think it sends the wrong message, man.
No,
Brody could turn that into about 20 double entendres.
Sounds like he's a douche.
I'm pretty sure he refers to himself as the Mattress Mac when he's trying to sell discount mattresses in urban areas.
I think when he's trying
to watched a movie with
women
Mattress
or
Mac in
something.
it once.
He's macking on mattresses.
Anyway,
was
go
that
ahead.
Magic Mike?
That was Mattress McKenzie.
No, it was a. Never mind.
All right.
Anyway, Alan.
All right, go ahead, Alan.
Imagine being at O'Hare Airport and hoping your flight is on time.
Been there, done that.
You're looking out the window.
Played that game.
You see the commissary cart headed towards your jet. And suddenly, it starts doing donuts and driving out of control and throwing people.
Did they hire a Florida resident?
Oh, there you go.
And heading for the nose of your jet.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, that happened this week.
Did they lose the food? That's
well, the food is going everywhere.
There's
the food is going everywhere in this thing. This thing is literally doing the tightest little donuts it can do, flinging stuff out of here. People are just, you're looking at it, you're going, this thing is going to hit the jet.
Wait, is it robot driven or is it? Why is it going on its
own? It had a
own?
malfunction in it though.
Apparently, the accelerator got stuck, and I was kind of like, it was having like a runaway moment. With
So
Tom
somebody
Selleck.
stepped out of it and left it. in gear.
I mean,
there was a ghost in there trying to just have a heyday.
It got gremlined.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that's messed up.
And one of the guys that had to like dive for his life is a guy named George Manilang, and George apparently took umbrage at being tossed by a cart.
Yeah.
Umbrage against who?
The cart.
The cart.
Because he went and got one of those baggage loaders.
That was a forklift.
And he comes along, he kind of lines up. You see him, and you got to watch the thing, but he lines up just out of there. And just as that thing has got a bead on the nose of that jet, it's coming around. He just rams the holy snot out of it.
Oh my God! This is like a rock movie. This is an action. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And
I saw this. I think I saw this in a Fast and Furious movie.
He put this baby on its side. I mean,
this is what that robot battle should have turned into.
Oh my gosh!
This is like melee combat.
Yeah, but
like
in that case, then the jet would have transformed into a robot and started beating the
It was like
cart.
full size battle bots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was.
So he's
pretty
the hero.
awesome.
Actually, he saved the plane.
Yeah. Well, actually, and of course, American Airlines, whose airplane it was sitting there talking to the envoy people whose employees those were.
Yeah.
And because of his fast thinking and his quick action, the flight was only delayed like 10 whole minutes.
Pretty good.
No one was injured.
By the way, there is video.
Oh, I saw it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm picturing
And,
this guy getting home, and it's like, honey, what'd you do today at work? well.
I killed the robot.
I got to body slam this cart, man.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty awesome.
On an upbeat kind of thing, I'm looking at that going, man, way to go, dude.
Good for him. I like that.
Hey, Allie, what do you got?
Suburbs of Pennsylvania.
Hey,
wait, so is this a piggyback on?
A quiet town.
Okay.
Disturbed.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's how Friday the 13th started, right?
Yeah.
5 p.m. Local woman scared for her poor fur baby Sam because of vicious street fight between an opossum and a skunk.
Oh, wait a minute.
There ain't gonna be no winners in that one.
Now that's an even match.
In broad daylight, an opossum and a skunk were caught fighting in this little neighborhood in Pennsylvania on a Monday afternoon.
No.
There is no loser. There is no winner. They're both dead.
No, they're
Local Nicole said, "It's a little nerve-wracking, It's a little crazy to see that. I was shocked."
Wait, she recorded it though, right?
Yes. Oh, there's videos. So
We
many
need
videos.
video of that. Who won the battle, Allie?
I'm not. I think I would assume the opossum. I'm going for opossum.
The skunk. The skunk, just one spray.
How tough is the skunk though?
Possums love that scent.
They're gonna eat it up. Eat it up.
Man, it's like a little hairy alligator versus a little
The
tank,
Pennsylvania
man.
Game Commission says that the opossum and the skunk both appear very healthy. So those worried about rabies shouldn't be concerned. They were just doing their
don't
thing.
like
It just
each other.
happened to be during the day.
Maybe they were.
Jeez, Carl! I told you to stay on your side of the street. Shut up, Sam! No, you shut up! I'm gonna spray you. Great, I love it.
Yeah, was this
You've
a
heard
turf
of
battle or
Gangs
something?
of New York. This is Gangs of Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Wait, do they eat the same kind of stuff? Because
Yes,
they seem very
garbage.
similar
Trash.
in creatures. So
They're-
they were
they're-
fighting over
they're
a rotten apple.
They're
or something.
both omnivores, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Omnivores.
One's a marsupial, the other's a weasel.
What probably happened is they were both trying to eat an armadillo that shouldn't have been there.
Yeah. Allie, can you send me the video of that? That sounds like a fun throwdown.
I told you I was gonna eat Ralph today. No, Ralph is mine.
Ralph's like, dudes, I'm still alive.
You know how they have
Not
rooster,
long, man. There's a car coming.
You know how they have rooster fights? Could they ever get into this? Like in you know?
Would you want to be involved with the skunk?
No, I'm just saying.
Have you ever been involved?
That's going to be what the
I was gonna
stay-at-home
say,
moms in
The
Pennsylvania
only
start
person
doing.
here that has ever had
Since
to
I'm-
deal with both of those is me.
Oh, yeah.
Since we're being PG-13, the rooster fight, don't smell
leave
bad
it there.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, leave it there.
Okay.
But
Anyway.
man, I bet the middle of that street reeks for.
Oh, I want to see this.
man.
I want to see that.
Hey, Brody.
Yeah.
All right. You wanted the best?
Yeah.
I got the best.
Take us
The
out.
hottest band in the world is now going to be underwater.
Yeah. Listen
As
to
part
this.
of a promotion by Airbnb, Kiss and a group of fans will be traveling in separate boats off the coast of southern Australia. While Kiss stays above board on one vessel, the fans will be lowered beneath the surface of the water from a second boat into the viewing sub in an area known for shark activity. Using underwater
be
speakers, Kiss will begin playing, and the sound will be audible to the submerged fans and the sharks.
I love it.
We love you, Australia.
Who thought of this?
Sharks deserve music too.
All right, so
Is this going to activate the sharks or put them to sleep?
No,
I mean,
that's the thing. It's like 8 fans and great white sharks. I mean, what's really kind of cool about this is that these 8 people are only gonna have to pay $50 to see Kiss.
Yeah.
True.
That's $50
How
more.
is Gene Simmons letting that stand? I mean,
Gene Simmons
that sounds like
will do anything for
$1,000
a
a
buck.
person.
Yeah.
Look at
No, I
Gene
mean that's
Simmons.
what I'm saying. That sounds like
you're right, because even the worst nosebleed, tickets to go see Kiss are like $120.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
The first come first served event. Proceeds all go to charity. Reservations can be made starting at 6 p.m. on Airbnb.com/Kiss on October 14th. This will take place November 18th, the day after the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention, so you can actually go to
do
both, Mark Meeker.
There you go. Well, you know Mark and Marcy.
Mark and
are there,
Marcy,
yeah.
have to know about this.
Oh, yeah.
If they don't already, somebody should call and let them know.
So wait, they're going to be
they're two of
rocking on a boat, like where it's literally rocking
they're
with
gonna
the
be
waves.
you're going to
and-
be under.
They're going to be
I'm
on
saying-
one boat playing their normal concert while you're going to be in a observation submersible boat.
I get
so you
that.
can hear the music and watch how it affects the sharks.
I'm saying, how's it going to affect? Paul Stanley's going to get seasickness, man, or
he's
something.
like, he's
It's
actually,
like-
they actually talked with him. And he's like, I was taken a little aback by it, but they explained that sharks are attracted to low frequencies, and so they're attracted to rock and roll. Singer and guitarist Paul Stanley told the Associated Press, since we're going to be in Australia, it gives a whole new meaning to doing a concert down under.
Bow, bow,
Gotta love the
bow.
dad jokes, Paul.
Wow.
This is weird.
Stanley said Kiss bassist Gene Simmons has recovered from having kidney stones removed recently and should be ready to perform well before the shark show.
That's what you need.
I tend to think he just ate gravel. You gotta love it when Gene's not there to focus everything. They rip into him.
Some of that flame calcified on his tongue, and it's like,
The event is part of an Airbnb animal experiences, promotion, and it's designed to have people entertain animals instead of the other way around. The company said in a news release. As strange as it sounds, the underwater concerts are not new. The Underwater Music Festival has been held for the past 35 years in the Florida Keys.
It's true.
Well, we don't talk
Does
about
that not
them.
sound like a Florida idea?
Yeah, no, it's a Florida idea. Here's
yeah.
the problem. The sharks in Australia are way more vicious than they are in Florida. And we're going to get a story where 8 Kiss fans were eaten
Exactly.
by rabid sharks who broke into a submersible.
They're going to team up.
No.
They're going to harness all their
They're gonna be
power,
like-
and they're going to get in through like the torpedo
ever seen
tube or
it?
something.
Gene, I don't want to party every day.
Yeah.
Shut up!
Is this the next 48 meters movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever seen a shark tongue? You're gonna. But
Shark Tongue's the new name for my band.
the
by
Shark
the way.
Show has untapped potential if they want to do it again sometime. After all, what other concert idea could potentially bring together Great White and Air Supply?
I was I was waiting for the great
all the dad jokes, in this article. Oh my God, this is painful.
Are they going to wear the spikes?
I think yes,
have to.
yes. Kiss will be in full makeup and costumes for the performance.
I want them to have swimsuit versions.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
something
I don't-
in me
Paul
wants to.
Stanley is a furry dude. Do you really want to look at his bare legs?
Will they be bare?
Yeah.
Like like actual bear, like grizzly bear legs.
Probably.
Here, Allie, it'll look something like this. Let me take my pants off.
Yeah.
Brody, put it away.
No.
Brandon, you did win today.
Yeah.
You did win today's random roundup.
I don't know if that.
Hands
I don't
down.
know. I don't know how what I won, but speaking of winning things,
Yeah.
You win
Brody,
the right
you
not to go.
You've got an idea coming to Geek Tank Radio soon.
Where you could actually be and hold part of Geek Tank Radio. We're going to be releasing some information very soon on how you can get your hands on exclusive merchandise from Geek Tank Radio.
Oh.
Yeah.
When are you going to announce that?
Anyways,
Probably next season.
yeah, probably next season.
Okay.
When I
but
club
just,
you
you know,
over the head with one of these bottles.
That's
Okay.
That's so violent, Brody.
Well,
Who do you
he's
think
not
you
going
are,
to
the
say
Joker?
yes to it until picked up some ideas.
As a primer, though, how do people get in touch with us, Brandon?
Okay, well-
like just, for kicks.
Well,
we haven't.
of
promoted
course,
that much.
there's the wonderful idea of getting a hold of us through Facebook or Twitter,
Yeah.
which we have both. Of course, GeekTankRadio.com has a message center. You could also drop us a line at GeekTankRadio@gmail.com if you want to go the straight email route. There is a phone number, which I don't actually have in front of me because, Brody dropped this on me like 2 seconds ago.
1364. 901-259-1364.
6413.
Oh, 6413. I don't call my own number.
The voicemail is 901-259-6413.
Very good.
That's it.
Or you can get a hold of Joe at 901.
Okay.
All right. Actually, you go to the Memphis Comic and Fantasy website at memphiscfc.com.
Please
you can
shut
find Joe's phone number there.
All right, everybody. All right. Before I get any crank calls, what a season, you guys. Well done. Good job, Allie. Everybody
Thanks.
contributed.
Is your refrigerator running?
Anyway. But, and it's actually cooled off today, so I can't wait to get outside. So let's take off. But so we've done our job. So until next week, we are the Geek Patrol, and I am Joe Thorderson.
I'm Allie Diggs.
I'm Alan Gilbreth.
I'm Brody.
And I am Brandon, reminding you to give your well wishes to our injured, our missing buddy, Andy Lockley, who will be back next season, whether he wants to be or not.
Geek Tank Radio. More below and on 1019kissfm.com. Keyword Geek Tank.